Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. I am your host, Rusty Peace, and it is that time again when we talk Lincoln Memorial University athletics. Lots to talk about in the past week of play. A lot happening in LMU athletics from the winter season to the spring season, and of course, a lot of spring seasons going on right now. We'll talk with Benny Collins, head coach of the LMU tennis teams, a little bit later in the show. We'll update you in the first part of the show on some things that have happened in the last week, and we'll tell you at the end of the show about some things still yet to come. I'd like to remind everybody to keep up to date on all that's going on with Lincoln Memorial University athletics. Pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. You'll find all the latest scores, facts, statistics, player profiles, rosters, schedules, news releases, photographs, videos, and much more. That's the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. We'll take this break and we'll be right back on the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Stay with us.
We have a big problem and we need your help.
It's happening on college campuses, at bars, at parties, even in high schools.
It's happening to our sisters and our daughters,
our wives and our friends.
It's called sexual assault and it has to stop.
We have to stop it. So listen up.
If she doesn't consent, or if she can't consent, it's rape, it's assault.
It's a crime. It's wrong.
If I saw it happening, I was taught you have to do something about it.
If I saw it happening, I speak up.
If I saw it happening, I'd never blame her. I'd help her.
Because I don't want to be a part of the problem.
I want to be a part of the solution.
We need all of you to be part of the solution. This is about respect. It's about responsibility.
It's up to all of us to put an end to sexual assault. And that starts with you.
Because one is too many.
Hey everybody! Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile. Dang it.
To the invisible jet.
Dang it.
Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Yeah! Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at SoapyJays. SoapyJays has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The wheel deal, the SoapyJ, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the 1st of each month. Don't forget, SoapyJays has free vacuums with any wash. SoapyJays Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at SoapyJays. SoapyJays on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Last weekend, Josh Schertz and the Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball team ended the 2014-15 season for the 4th consecutive year in the NCAA Division II Southeast Region Tournament semifinals. Lincoln Memorial entered the event as the tournament's #1 seed and ranked #6 nationally as they knocked off #8 seed North Greenville University in Saturday's quarterfinal round 95-62. On Sunday evening, however, Schertz and the Railsplitters came out to a flat start while the #4 seed Trojans from the University of Mount Olive blistered the Nets, taking a 21-point lead a little more than midway through the first half before going to the locker room with a 28-17 lead at the break. As the second half got underway, again the Railsplitters got off to a slow start with Mount Olive reeling off a 10-2 run to open the final 20 minutes of regulation before eliminating the Railsplitters from this year's NCAA tournament with a 75-55 margin of victory. The disappointment ends the Railsplitters season with a 30-3 record, and after the game we caught up with head coach Josh Schertz in the postgame media room.
Okay, first congratulations Mount Olive. Obviously you know, they were the far better team tonight. They beat us in every capacity. First half we couldn't score. Second half we couldn't stop them. They whipped us on the backboards. They've got a team full of really hard-nosed, tough kids, and I thought they just played with tremendous aggression, and they were very physical. And I thought that really that was kind of an Achilles heel all year for us. Was a lack of physicality, a lack of aggression. Part of that's being young, and part of that may be, a mentality that we have to look at. But from my end, like I told the guys, I think it ends sad for everybody but one. Everybody but one team out of 300 loses, I know there's a notion, which I disagree with, that if you're, not the last team standing, that somehow, you're a loser, or you kind of had your hand in the cookie jar, and you got caught with that. But I don't agree with that. These guys have nothing to hang their head about. 30-3, set the conference and school record for wins, and got to #1 in the country, and won a championship, and really I thought represented the university very, very well. We're disappointed, obviously, bitterly, with how we played today, and it was on both ends of the floor. That was disappointing. Like I said, we hung in, but we weren't able to get any stops in the second half once we started making some layups and some threes.
Victory propelled the Trojans into the championship game on Tuesday, where they eventually made a come-from-behind effort to defeat the Falcons of the University of Montevallo 82-75 to advance to this year's Elite Eight in Evansville, Indiana, to be played next week. The Railsplitters lose guard and South Atlantic Conference Player of the Year Lorenza Ross, all-conference second-team center Keenan Peterson, and senior guard C.J. Wakely, who has been out with an injury the second half of the season. They will all be lost to graduation. And turning to baseball, while Schertz and his team have been on the hardwood, head coach Jeff Sixeye and his squad have been on the diamond. Last weekend, the LMU baseball team traveled to Salisbury, North Carolina for a 3-game set in South Atlantic Conference play with the matchup against the Indians of Catawba College. And for the first time this season, Sixeye and his team were swept in league play, falling 6-1, 3-2, and 8-7. On Wednesday, however, the Railsplitters traveled up the road to Wise, Virginia to take on the Cavaliers of UVA Wise, and pounded out a sweep of their regional opponent, 12-0 and 10-9. Now 14-10 overall and 9-6 in league play, the Railsplitters are set to play a home 3-game non-conference series this weekend with Ohio Valley University. Saturday's action is set to get underway at 1 p.m. on the Lamar Hinnon Field with a doubleheader, while Sunday's single 9-inning game is set for a noon start. And while LMU softball coach Natalie Layden and the Lady Railsplitters have been playing for more than a month now and have fallen below the 500 mark at 9-11 on the year, the LMU women are still 1-1 in South Atlantic Conference play, having split Wednesday with Tusculum on the road in Greenville, Tennessee. The Lady Railsplitters won the opening game 4-2 before falling in game 2 2-1 to end the afternoon. As the schedule and fate would have it, the LMU women still haven't played a home game this season. Since February 11th, the Lady Railsplitters have been either on the road or playing at a neutral site, with their only home series back on February 18th with Lee University postponed due to snow. That was Snowmageddon for those of us here in the tri-state area. Layden and the Lady Railsplitters traveled this weekend. They traveled down to Hartsville, South Carolina to take on the Cobras of Coker College in South Atlantic Conference doubleheader action before returning to the Dorothy Neely Field Tuesday to play SAC opponent Anderson University in what will be their home debut, weather permitting. Saturday's action in Hartsville is set to get underway at 1 p.m., while Tuesday's home opener is also set for a 1 o'clock start. And moving over to men's lacrosse, Ryan Kuhn and the Lincoln Memorial University men's lacrosse program continue to battle through their inaugural season. After capturing the program's first victory in only its second outing, the Railsplitters have been denied a second win in the last 6 tries and stand at 1-7 on the year and 0-5 in South Atlantic Conference play. While Tuesday's loss at Tusculum was a fierce battle, LMU fell short in an 8-7 decision against the Pioneers, suffering their 3rd loss in the past week. This weekend, the Railsplitters play host to Queens University on the LMU campus before also hosting non-conference CSU Pueblo on Wednesday and then traveling to Mars Hill, North Carolina to take on the Lions of Mars Hill College in conference play a week from Saturday. This Saturday's matchup with the Royals of Queens University is set for a 3 p.m. start at the LMU lacrosse field. And let's see, turning to women's lacrosse, first-year head coach Caitlin Carossi and the Lady Railsplitter lacrosse team are still searching for the program's first win. After historically opening the program's first season with a 21-2 loss to conference opponent Lenoir-Rhyne University, the LMU women have lost 6 straight, having lost to Wingate, Catawba, and Tusculum in the past week. In the week ahead, the Carossi and the Lady Railsplitters will host conference opponent Queens University on Saturday and non-conference foe University of Pikeville Tuesday before traveling to Newberry, South Carolina, March 28th to take on the Wolves of Newberry College. Saturday's bout with the Royals gets underway with a 1 o'clock start. And incidentally, the Lady Railsplitters scored their first home goal in the past outing this week. So congratulations, they are making progress. All right, turning to men's golf. On the links earlier this week, the Lincoln Memorial University men's golf team was over in Charlotte, North Carolina, playing in the 15th annual Ralph Hargett Memorial, hosted by Wingate University. After the opening round, the Railsplitters were just 6 strokes out of first place and tied for 6th place overall following the first 36 holes, but turned in a 16 over par 304 in the final round to finish 8th in the event. This week's tournament marks the first time the LMU men have finished outside the top 3 since the spring season began with the spring kickoff intercollegiate in mid-February down in Fleming Island, Florida. Since that time, head coach Travis Muncy and the Railsplitters turned in a 3rd place finish at the Tusculum Invitational at Link Hills Country Club in Greenville, Tennessee. The Railsplitters will now take the next week to prepare for their match against Tusculum College, which will be in match play at Holston Hills Country Club in Knoxville, Tennessee, March 28th. And the Lincoln Memorial University women's golf team took a first-place finish at the recent Southeast Kentucky Invitational held earlier this week at Crooked Creek Golf Club in London, Kentucky. Playing in only their 2nd event of the 2015 spring season, the LMU women turned in a back-to-back rounds of 322 to finish off the tournament title with a 644 to capture the 4th annual SEKI and their first top finish since 2012. LMU put 3 players on the all-tournament team and 4 inside the top 10, headlined by Michaela Conway's tie for first place finish with a 156. Also finishing within the top 10 for Lincoln Memorial were Lindy McGuire, who finished 1 stroke out of first place with a 157, while Sydney Gallant was 1 stroke behind McGuire with a 2-round total 158. Both earned all tournament honors for their efforts, while teammate Lindsay Davis finished tied for 10th. And that was with a combined score of 163. The LMU women now have until Monday to prepare for the Wingate Intercollegiate to be played at Old Sycamore Golf Plantation in Charlotte, North Carolina. That'll be March 23rd and 24th. And with that, we're going to take a brief time out. When we return, we'll talk with Lincoln Memorial University head tennis coach Benny Collins about the 2015 spring tennis season, and we'll catch up on how the LMU men and women have fared thus far. Back after this on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
You make me wear my bike helmet.
Taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet.
Shoebox under the bed. Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
You can be a hero by being prepared for an emergency. First, make a plan. Call a family meeting to plan for things like how to connect with loved ones after an emergency.
There.
Or your escape route.
I am not fast.
Build a kit. When disaster strikes, it's important to have enough supplies to last 3 days. And don't forget the batteries.
Low battery.
Number 3, know the facts. From blackouts to floods, no matter the emergency, the more you know about it, the better you can deal with it.
You're gonna need some upgrades.
Number 4, get involved. Lend a hand in your community to help others know their role in an emergency.
You guys, do you feel this? We're gonna be heroes!
You can be a hero by being prepared.
Yes!
Visit ready.gov/kids for more preparedness tips.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Coach Benny Collins joins us in studio, and for he and his LMU tennis teams, Well, the spring's been somewhat unkind since the last time we talked to him. Snowmageddon hit us, and I know that really limited the time you get out on the court, either in practice or in match play.
That's true, Rusty. You know, in about a 6-week period with the rain and the cold weather and all the snow we had, and we couldn't get it off the courts. We had that below zero back-to-back days, froze that snow. We had about 20 inches of snow on the courts. It just stayed forever. So, you know, we finally got the courts cleaned off. We went out on a Friday and it warmed up. We took the snow blower and the guys shoveled and shoveled. We worked about 5 or 6 hours, got the courts clean. We got to practice one day, and then we stepped right into a match with Wingate, probably the best team in the conference, men and women overall. And when we was practicing, I thought, I feel sorry for the guys. You know, they hadn't got to hit any and get thrown in against a match like that. So it was pretty bittersweet, I tell you.
Well, I know that through all of Snowmageddon, you and I have found that while, you know, the crews aren't always scraping the roads, and that's from administrative order sometimes, we do have a snowblower, and we can put that in use not only on the sidewalks but on the tennis courts.
I've used it 2 times since I've been here, and I tell you, it worked like a charm. You know, it works really good if you get that snow to where you can heavy enough to where you can blow it. It'll throw it 30 or 40 feet. So what I did, I cut a bunch of trails through it and got it melting, and the sun come out, and then we started shoveling on it, moving it. And Coach Dan Burns come out and showed his expert on how to move snow. He helped us out on that day.
We all know that Coach Dan Burns, former Coach Dan Burns, is an expert on a lot of things. We won't go into what he's an expert on, but no, in terms of that, you know, on the rare occasion that you would need a snowblower, most of us can't justify purchasing one of those for our homes, but you know, it doesn't matter the amount of snowfall you get. You can clean off something if you have a situation like yours where you need to get out there on the court, you need to practice. Even though the temperatures are down low, I mean, as long as you got a dry court, you can get out there and hit.
If it's cold, you know, a lot of times the guys can take the cold weather a little better than the ladies. You know, they when the temperature gets down so cold, the girls, they just freeze. Their hands get cold, but the guys can take it a little better. But this year, we just couldn't get on the courts. I mean, the weather was so bad, we just couldn't get on there. We did go to Knoxville 2 times to get some indoor court time, and you know, that's very little. You know, every day I look at my phone and look at the weather that I've got, and I look at every team in the SAC conference, and a lot of times it's 21 here, it's 45 in most of the teams we play, and sunny, so they're getting to practice, we're not. Now, I mean, it's like a punch in the nose to me every day, you know.
Well, this past weekend, you traveled to what I call the end of the earth, Coker, down to Coker College down there in Hartsville, South Carolina. There are some that thought if you went far enough, you might go off the edge of the earth down there because it's a long way, and they probably think the same thing about Harrogate. But you went down to Coker, and I know that it was kind of a mixed bag of success down there, but both men's and women's teams were there.
Both men and women's team. First we went to Hickory, North Carolina the day before we played Coker, and the guys dug out a match at 5-4. You know, LR has really changed their program down there. They're a tough program now. They've lost their head coach Bobby McKee, and they've got an intern coach that's been very successful in his whole life at tennis. So the men dug out a match at 5-4. The ladies lost a match at 4-5, but the ladies team is broken too in the middle. I call it. We got 2 players, key players, that's hurt right in the middle of the lineup. And so that really puts us at odds on the ladies' team. We go the next day to Coker, which is a very good school. I mean, a very good tennis school. And the guys win all 3 doubles right off the bat. And I tell them, you know, hey, they're going to come out in this singles match with the guns blazing. You better be ready. And sure enough, Coker comes out. They win 1, 2, 3 singles right off the bat. So it comes down to our number 5 singles guy and our number 6 guy, and Carlos Uniel's our number 6 guy because we have Gilman Rasha out for an injury right now. And Carlos stepped in both days and won both those matches and propelled us into the win at 5-4. The ladies lost both times, 4-5, close, but you know, we had to pull players out that was hurt, and we had to fault those matches, so that hurts us when you do that. And you have to move your lineup up, it messes everything up. So, you know, we've got to get the women healthy. You know, I started out optimistically, which would be the best team, and I actually thought the women would be the best team overall this year. And if they can become injury-free and get everybody back in, we've got a solid chance to do that.
We saw Guy Hosha hitting there just a little bit ago.
It was his first day back on the court.
Good to see him back out on the court.
Yeah.
Coach, let's go back a couple of years. You've been in the game now in the South Atlantic Conference for several years now. Since you came in your first season as head coach as compared to today, do you feel like the level of play throughout the league has elevated?
Stephen Hall made this statement. He's a 5-year senior. He had a medical red shirt 1 year. And he said that the play in the conference is phenomenal now. Even on our team, he said the incoming freshmen are so much better than when he first came 5 years ago. He said it's just a total transformation as far as the competition in our conference and on our actual team.
Well, of course, you know, a lot of season left to be played. The Lincoln Memorial University tennis teams will be at home. Now, I need to mention that they were scheduled for a match on Friday. That's been pushed back into Saturday due to a rain forecast for the tri-state area. But you've got the Trojans of Anderson coming in here on Saturday.
Very strong tennis team, men's and women's. They're in the top 2, 3 in the conference for sure, maybe even #1 in their men. Their men beat Queens, you know, and that's a pretty big deal to do that. So they're going to be lining up as one of the better teams we'll face. And we just got to go out there and do what we can and play the best we can and see what happens. You know, it is what it is. We just got to do it.
Now I know that you know, the injuries have not been any stranger to the women's team as well. You've had a couple of those this year, and that's kind of set you back a little bit in terms of what you would like to do with your lineup.
That's correct. You know, when you get somebody hurt in the lineup, if they can't play, you have to move that lineup up. And you know, number 4 never plays number 3 good. It just don't work out that way. So when you move that lineup, it just breaks your back, you know. And so, you know, when we can get this women's lineup to a 1 through 6 player is healthy and they can play, we've got a real chance to do some damage. You know, those 2 matches we lost at 5-4, those were both winnable matches for us, and that would have been a big key for us making it to the conference tournament. You know, that's over with and done. So we just have to step up and get with it.
With what you've got behind you now in terms of the conference schedule and what you still have left to play both at home and on the road, how do you see your chances? I mean, are we in a situation right now where we can really make some things happen, or is it going to be an uphill battle?
Well, the men right now, when we get Guy back in there, if we get him back in the lineup, if he makes it back in the lineup, you know, he's got to fight his way back in. You know, once you come out of the lineup, you have to work your way back in. You have to prove you can get in the lineup. So if we have our men's lineup, and the guys are getting to practice now. You wouldn't believe how much better they look since they've got to practice. And they're working really hard. The girls, if we get the girls healthy, you know, if we get these 2 girls it's injured in the middle of our lineup healthy, we've got a good chance to do things late through the season. You know, we've got most for season yet to go. We've had to cancel most of it because of weather. So we've only played 3 conference matches, and you know, we'll play Anderson this weekend and Brevard next. So we've got matches that we for sure we can win, and we'll be competitive with the rest of them for sure.
There's so many factors that you got to add into the scenario. I mean, you know, if you're not able to get out on the court, you can recruit the best talent in the world, but if you're not able to get out on the court and practice, obviously you're not going to be at the top of your game. Then you throw into it the weather, the temperature out there.
Right.
Of course, whether it's damp or whether it's cool or cold or warm or hot. The lineup that you've got due to injury or otherwise, I mean, there's just so many factors that you've got to factor in. And even at that, then you've got this individual playing this individual, and while this person may be a better tennis player here and there, if he doesn't play that individual the right way, if he tries to power through every point, instead of just playing the point, it could be a long day.
It can be a long day. You know, and another thing is when you don't get to practice day in, day out like these other teams, when you do get to play and you play a match, you know, that's when these injuries occur. When we've not really developed the on-court stuff it takes to get the job done, and you go out and you play a really good team, you're running harder and you're doing more things than you're not built up to do. That's when I think some of these injuries occur on us. You know, us being up here where we don't get to practice much, then we have to go straight and play, we get injured. So that's where we're getting these injuries from. I really believe that.
Saturday's match with the Trojans of Anderson, give us an insight into that, what these teams are going to have to do in order to come out with a victory.
You know, we've got to go out and, as always, you've got to win 2 out of the 3 doubles to have a real solid chance in any match. You know, we work on doubles day in, day out. It's the key to success in any tennis team. You know, you play great doubles just like the guys won all 3 doubles matches down there at Coker, sort of stunned them guys. I mean, we really stunned them on the doubles. And we dug out 2 more singles wins and got that win. You know, we've got to go out and get 2 out of the 3 doubles matches, and then you just got to get 3 more points in the singles. That's just that simple.
In the weather situation, have the teams been using the opportunity to get in the arena and do some off-season conditioning?
Well, we condition every day. I mean, our condition is through the roof. You know, we've got Steven down in the weight room and Evan helping him down there, and I mean, they're really good on the weights. We're stronger than we've ever been. My assistant coach she's got a degree in all this physical training and all that. She's done a great job for us. Probably the best shape we've ever been in overall as far as conditioning. And but you know, we get to go in Mary Morris Gym and hit for an hour on drop balls. You can't run and hit a ball; it's too slick. And it's okay, but it don't substitute what you got to do to get it done as far as on the court.
Coach, we want to wish you the best of luck this weekend.
Thank you,
against
Rusty.
the Trojans. All right. Anderson and LMU getting started Saturday at the LMU tennis court. Start time?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. Be there and free to the public. We hope you should show your support for the LMU tennis team.
And my granddaughter will be there too.
Back after this on the LMU Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Citizens Bank, we're different from everyone else. We've proudly served business communities of Northeast Tennessee since 1912 and have security you can count on. We offer the convenience of internet banking, excellent loan services on various types of loans, cash management, and small business banking at all of our convenient locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, New Tazewell, Bean Station, and Morristown. Visit our website to find out more at citizensbanktn.com. Citizens Bank, no more banking as usual.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
From commercial to residential, from the basement to the attic, Knoxville Drywall can deliver full-service drywall, insulation, and paint contracting. Knoxville Drywall specializes in new and tenant build-outs, drywall repair, drywall grids, metal stud framing, acoustical ceilings, suspended drywall ceilings, and ceiling and wall texturing and painting. Knoxville Drywall also provides wall-blown insulation for existing walls, attic-blown insulation, wall and ceiling bats insulation, and crawlspace insulation. Knoxville Drywall Incorporated, serving Knoxville and the surrounding area for more than 56 years with outstanding quality and competitive pricing.
Institutional case good or architectural woodwork. Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 4th Side Street, Northeast, Knoxville.
Special thanks again to Benny Collins for joining us on today's show. And, of course, for those of you who followed Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball and women's basketball, thanks for your support throughout the 2014-15 season. Great finish for the LMU men again, and we're already looking forward to the 15-16 season. For, of course, head coach Crystal Evans, it is the recruiting trail right now. She'll be replacing some lost seniors, as will Josh Schertz, and we certainly hope that she has the team ready and raring to go for 15-16. This weekend, again, don't forget, it'll be Jeff Sixeye and the Railsplitter baseball team playing host to Ohio Valley University. That'll be at home on the Lamar Hennon Field. Scheduled for a doubleheader Saturday, a single game on Sunday. The LMU tennis team's at home this weekend as well. That'll be a Saturday start against Anderson University, 11 a.m., I believe is what Benny Collins said. And I think that's all we have for the weekend now. The LMU softball teams will be at home in the upcoming week. And, you know, they've been playing since day one, way back in early February, on the road or at neutral sites. So I know that Coach Layden is very eager to get a home opener here and hopefully pick up a couple of wins here on the Dorothy Neely Field. That's all the time we have for tonight. Until next week, I'm Rusty Peace. For everybody behind the scenes, you've been watching the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Thanks for watching.